November 24th, 1971. A cold and cloudy evening in Portland, Oregon. A man dressed in a business suit and dark sunglasses walks into the airport. He carries only a briefcase. Nothing about him seems unusual. But within hours, his name will be burned into history as D.B. Cooper, the man who vanished into thin air. The man bought a one-way ticket for Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, bound for Seattle. He paid cash, his ticket name Dan Cooper. He boarded quietly, sat in the rear of the plane and ordered a drink, bourbon and soda. To the flight attendants, he seemed calm, polite, even friendly. But then everything changed. Shortly after takeoff, the man handed a note to a flight attendant. She assumed it was just his phone number, so she tucked it in her pocket. But the man leaned in and whispered, "Miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb." The note demanded $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. The FBI and airline scrambled to meet his demands. When the plane landed in Seattle, the passengers were released in exchange for the money and parachutes. Strangely, the man showed no aggression. He was calm, almost professional. Witnesses said he was polite, never raised his voice, never harmed anyone. Once his demands were met, he gave new instructions. The plane was to take off again, head south toward Mexico, flying low and slow. As the plane cruised over the dark forests of Washington state, the man put on a parachute. He strapped the bag of money to his body. Then at around 8 p.m., he lowered the rear stairway of the Boeing 727 and jumped into the freezing night sky. When the crew landed later, the man was gone. The FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in American history. Hundreds of soldiers, police, and agents scoured the forests. But no body was found, no parachute, no trace of D.B. Cooper. It was as if the night had swallowed him whole. For decades, investigators and armchair detectives debated his fate. Did he die in the jump? The weather was brutal and the terrain unforgiving. Many believe he never survived the fall. Or did he outsmart everyone? Some say he was an ex-paratrooper who knew exactly what he was doing, that he landed safely, disappeared, and lived out his life in secret. A twist came years later, when a boy found $5,800 in decayed bills buried along a riverbank, matching the ransom money. But the rest never recovered. To this day, the FBI has never solved the case. In 2016, they officially closed the investigation. D.B. Cooper's true identity and fate remain unknown. Some call him a criminal, others a folk hero. But one thing is certain. On that stormy November night in 1971, a man boarded a plane and vanished forever, leaving behind one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in history.